name is Audrey Finch, and I'm reading Cruel and Unusual Punishment, Capital Punishment. When a prisoner is executed, the body turns bright red as its temperature rises, and the prisoner's flesh swells and his skin stretches to the point of breaking. Sometimes the prisoner catches on fire. An electrocuted corpse is hot enough to blister if touched. According to Robert Kishner, the Deputy Chief Medical Examiner of Cook County, Illinois, the brain appears cooked in most cases. This does not seem like a painless, humane way to die that the government promises through capital punishment, the execution of an offender sentenced to death by a court of law of a criminal offense. The Code of Hammurabi, a well-preserved Babylonian law code of ancient Mesopotamia, is one of the oldest deciphered writings of significant length in the world. It outlines 282 of the laws punishable by death that use barbaric means of crucifixion, drowning, beating to death, burning alive, and impalement. America continues to use capital punishment, even though it seems to be such a medieval practice in a time when we believe to be a first world nation. Capital punishment is not good for our society and should be abolished from all states in the U.S. Capital punishment is not only cruel, but goes against the Declaration of Independence, our laws, and the Constitution, punishes families of prisoners, takes away chances for rehabilitation, and may even kill innocent people. It states in the Declaration of Independence that all people have the right to life. The UN General Assembly, the representative body of recognized states, and the Human Rights Organization want to end the death penalty because it violates the fundamental human rights. As long as the government have the right to extinguish lives, they maintain the power to deny access to every other right enumerated in the Declaration. The right to life leads to all other rights stated in the Declaration of Independence. So executing a prisoner takes away all the rights of a human being. It is against the law to kill a human being, yet we put people to death. This seems like a hypocritical situation. We are teaching that it is wrong to kill people by killing them. This shows a huge lack of respect for human life and dignity. This shows that two wrongs make a right, which is a fundamental thing that we teach to our youth to show that we can find better solutions than revenge and getting even. And worst of all, the death penalty teaches people, especially children, that killing is an acceptable way to solve problems. It also makes it seem like the government's actions are above the law. Citizens cannot kill people, but the government can put someone to death. This makes the system seem faulty or weak because the entity of law does not even follow the laws. A universal law should be followed by all people and organizations. No matter how thorough the justice system seems, there is always a chance that an innocent person may be sentenced and executed. There have been many accounts of people being released from death row because they were found innocent later. One organization alone, the Innocence Project, has exonerated 334 people through DNA discovery. That does not include the appeals that have proven prisoners innocent or the prisoners who have already been executed. The current emphasis on faster executions, less resources for defense, and expansion in numbers of death cases means the execution of an innocent person is inevitable. The increasing number of innocent offenders being found on death row is a clear sign that our process for sentencing people to death is fraught with fundamental errors which can be redeemed once and remedied once an execution occurs. With imprisonment, we could easily release innocent people. Capital punishment prevents the correction of our mistakes that we make. With the death penalty, there is a chance an innocent person may be killed. Executing a person gives no chance of rehabilitation of the prisoner. The only rational purpose for a prison is to restrain those who are violent while helping them to change their behavior and return to the community. One of the main reasons we created prisons were to give people a chance to change and be brought back into society. People have the chance to realize what they've done, apologize, find religion and peace, and become a better person. Killing them defeats the whole purpose and gives them no chance to change. If we believed that people could not change, we'd be living in a society where once someone made a mistake, they would never be forgiven. We forgive people because we think they can change and not repeat past mistakes. Norway has a unique approach to their system, and it's proven that it works. Norway only has about 4,000 prisoners, while America has over 2 million prisoners. Also, Norway has the lowest rate for someone going back to prison. Norway's prison system isn't focused on punishment, but rehabilitation. The prisons are homey and somewhat of a utopia. There are no bars on the windows. Guards are encouraged to become friends with the inmates. They have access to a studio, full kitchen, numerous job training, electronic entertainment, etc. In closed prisons, prisoners are kept locked up for some years and then let back out, not having any real responsibility for work or cooking. In the law, being sent to prison has nothing to do with putting you in a terrible prison to make you suffer. The punishment is that you lose your freedom. If we treat people like animals when they are in prison, they are likely to behave like animals. Here we pay attention to you as a human being. The halls are said to look more like dormitorium hallways than prison hallways, and the rooms are comfortable, like IKEA catalog rooms. Norway focuses on rehabilitation and shows that it works. Do you want people who are angry or people who are rehabilitated? Some may believe that executing a prisoner can provide closure for the families of victims, but it provides no closure for the family of the prisoner. Killing that person's family member hurts the family. Although one person may feel like karma or revenge has been served, the other person loses someone they love. The family of a prisoner are innocent in the matter of the situation, but in the end are punished. They cannot visit their loved ones, call to say I love you during the holidays. All because someone is in prison does not mean that their family stops loving them. Also, prisoners have the hope that their loved ones can get better and change. Also, families of prisoners have hope that their loved ones can get better and change. Killing them takes away the chance for that. Also, there are many prisoners on death row who are found innocent and later released. This reputation follows them and ruins their lives and their families also. A woman named Nancy Volerstein talks about how her brother had been wrongly convicted of murdering his wife. After a long process, he had been released and resorted to drug abuse and alcoholism. His life was ruined and his family had metaphorically lost him after being sentenced to death row. Capital punishment is punishing families by taking away their loved ones. The Constitution states that there shall be no cruel or unusual punishment, yet capital punishment is. The act of capital punishment goes against our own Constitution, the foundation of our country. We have gone from hanging people to drowning to electrocuting. These do not seem painless, they seem agonizing and cruel. One executioner states that one time while doing an execution, he had closed the circuit to start an electrocution, and an unusual fire had come from the prisoner's headpiece. The executioner stopped the flow, and he noticed that the body was moving as if gasping for air. They did it several times until the prisoner was dead. Apparently, a synthetic sponge soaked in brine had been replaced for a natural one applied to the prisoner's head. This reduced the flow of electricity to as low as 100 volts and ended up torturing the prisoner to death. These situations are not only a one-time thing. There are many times where something goes wrong with an executioner's setup or the old machinery. Although we do not use electrocution anymore as a preferred method, injections may not always be painless or humane. They use a mix of 3 drugs that may not work the same for everyone. They use an anesthetic, a neuromuscular blocking drug, potassium chloride that mixed together cause immediate painless death for the prisoner. Although there is the problem that not everybody's body reacts to chemicals the exact same way. Also, currently the anesthetic, the drug for lethal injections are in a huge shortage. The sole provider for the drug in America, Hospia, has recently announced that they will no longer produce the drug. Texas has 317 inmates on death row and only enough drugs to execute 2. Now 35 states have to find alternatives. Numerous states have been looking to other countries to buy the drug. Some have bought them from suppliers in India and England, which have since banned the transport of the drug. Questions can be raised on the quality of these drugs. They may be expired or fail to work efficiently, which can cause the prisoner to suffer a painful death. Also, the shortage is causing the states to change their method of execution to cruel and inhumane options of hanging, electrocution, lethal gas, and firing squad. Capital punishment is cruel and unusual punishment that clearly goes against our Constitution. Capital punishment is wrong for our society and needs to be abolished. It breaks our laws, takes away fundamental rights, and goes against the foundation of our society. It also punishes families and kills innocent people. It gives no chance for someone to change, which we as humans fundamentally believe. It is a tradition that goes back to barbaric times, and we need to evolve and change for better by getting rid of capital punishment in America.